playing with tonight, and I think playing is the optimum word here. An LG 49uk695V, made, as you may be able to see, back in May 2005. Now, courtesy of Angus Davidson, he did a reveal when this TV came out 8 years ago. Look, this is how the TV looked when it was brand new 8 years ago. Thank you, Angus. So we just thought we'd have a quick look at it and how it's supposed to look. I noticed the legs look really stylish on here. Little chrome effect legs, which I haven't got on this set. This is a customer set, and it's come in with a problem. But I just thought it's nice sometimes if you can have a look on how the TVs work, just to see if it's changed at all. And the truth is, once again, thanks to Angus, as we come back to this one, hasn't really. Needs a bit of a clean, but they always do. This was one of the early Ultra HD ones, because we're talking 2015, when, Ultra HD was kind of new. I mean, HD had been new to quite a few people in 2015. Ultra HD was completely new. And the thing that you notice about this set is how well it's made. I mean, we'll have a look at that on a future video, but it is made really well. There is a fault with this, and I have seen the fault. When the TV came into me a week ago, he just pointed it out, that sometimes the TV just doesn't turn on. The standby light goes out, and there's no picture, and there's no sound, and in fact there's no image at all, so it's not a backlight issue. And I've come across this problem before, and I said, if you give me a few days, I will go searching for the part that I need for this. LG was suffering with the problem around about 2015. Well, actually, probably from about 2010 to 2015, with their processors getting hot, the solder balls cracking, and sometimes after the TV's been on for a bit, it just doesn't make a great connection. So, as I say, he did bring it into me. It came on fine first time, and then second time, it wouldn't come on, so I've seen the fault. Now, I've been trying to recreate the fault for you, as you can probably see over the last couple of minutes, switching it on and switching it off, and it's been absolutely perfect every time. So I thought I'd have a brilliant idea of just watching 5 minutes worth of snooker, just to warm the TV up a bit and see if anything happens. Remember, the TV doesn't switch itself off. This is me switching the TV off and switching it back on again, just to see if we get the LG logo and see if we get a picture. What normally happens is the LED light goes out, the standby light goes out, but we don't get a picture when it goes faulty. But at the moment, I keep trying, and I'm putting it on test for a few minutes, and it's not doing it. So while I'm still doing the test, I just thought I should mention something. It's connected to LG. Is LG have now become worldwide the #1 in TV reliability. Isn't that incredible? If you think that's incredible, I mean, it kind of makes sense to me. What doesn't make sense to me is #2 was Sony. Well, it's not that doesn't make sense to me. That's okay. I would have probably put Sony first and LG second, but anyway. Third is Samsung. You've got to be kidding. What with the TUs, the AUs, the BUs, and now the CUs all failing, how on earth did Samsung get to #3 in reliability? I think this was a focus group study that was done in the United States of America. Because over here, I don't think Samsung at the moment have got that image. I don't think they've got that reputation. But anyway, LG, currently #1. Well done, LG. I think it's kind of well-deserved. They've always been great to us when we were business partners with them, with parts and stuff, which is just as well, because it's one of those parts I'm going to be needing shortly to get this TV up and running. So at the moment, I'm just constantly switching it on and switching it off, and I cannot recreate the fault for you. But then after faffing about a little bit, it's a great word that, by the way, isn't it? Faffing. After faffing about, I decide, I wonder if it needs an update, because sometimes these TVs just need an update. People haven't updated them. So I'm plugged into the wired network, as you can see. You probably could see a second ago that I plugged it in and it was in the bottom right-hand corner, but anyway. And for the love of TV gods, it won't connect to the network. It won't connect to the wired network. I know my wired network is absolutely fine, but it just won't have it. So I decide to do something and get out I only do this when it comes to severe cases, I decide to get out my LG reset remote. This is the service remote where I can reset it to proper factory conditions, not the factory conditions it says if you go on in the menu, but this is proper factory conditions, starts it from afresh. And all you have to do that is point the remote at the TV and type in a 4-digit code. Well, sorry, first you have to point the remote. Second, you have to press the in-stop button on the service remote, and that will then ask you and prompt you for a 4-digit code. And you may notice in a second that I pick the remote up, I point it straight at the television, and it doesn't ask me for a 4-digit code, it just automatically resets. And I've never known an LG set do that before. So that again gives me an impression that there is a problem with this. I don't really think it's anything to do with an update. There you go. So it's already come up in stop and it's switching itself off. It has not asked for the 4-digit code, and it should do. You shouldn't be able to reset in the service menu without the 4-digit code. So I'm automatically thinking that there's something wrong with the firmware on this TV. Again, it could be connected to the processor. A lot of things are connected to the processor, but this is more firmware stroke software issue. So anyway, we're starting again. So I have reset the TV, and now I want to test if, bearing in mind the wired connection is still plugged in, so we're still plugged in at the back. So I'm just setting it up again, and I want to see if I can connect to the internet once we've reset the TV. That's my little goal here. It doesn't really prove too much, but with the fact that it's just acting up a little bit, I want to see if A, I can connect this to the internet now it's been reset, and B, I want to see if there's a general update for it. Now, even if there is an update, I am still not 100%. And I would never give it back to the customer and take cash from him and say, yeah, I've done it, mate, I've fixed it. Because I've worked on so many of these and so many processor problems with LG from around about the 2015 time that when we were LG partners, I remember the boss saying to LG, there you go, look, we've connected this time. So the reset has worked and we've got the connection. So I'm just going through the rest of the setup process. But my boss said to LG, here, these look like these TVs going to be a bit of a problem, this 4K malarkey. Don't think it's going to catch on much. It looks like these boards are going to be a problem with your processor. So I think you should send us some boards. And I think we got half a dozen boards. And we used 2 or 3 of them, maybe 3 or 4. But I know that somewhere in the deepest, darkest room, my little old workshop at the back, where I've got a lot of the old stock boards from Samsung and LG and Panasonic, I know I've got a brand new board for this. So I think it's only fair and proper, if I'm going to do this, class this as a repair, that I stick a new board in it. There could be a case and a good argument for saying that there was a glitch, and by resetting it, I've sorted that glitch. Could be. But again, if I've got a new board, I might as well stick it in. But at the moment, it's connected to the internet, and it's telling me there's no update available. So it has got the latest one. I would have been surprised if there's an update available, unless the customer's never done any updates. Some people don't connect their TV to the internet, full stop. So that's as far as I've got with this in part 1. Why am I doing a part 1 and part 2? Well, I've had some camera issues really with this new camera that I really like, the 4K camera, and I'm going to do part 2 in 4K. So you'll be able to see me fit the LG board in 4K. It's not very exciting, but it just gives me a chance to check that the 4K camera is back up and running. I had a bit of a dodgy lead. I knew it was never a camera problem. And this time, look, it's asking me for the 4-digit password to reset. So I do reset, and then I'll switch the TV off, and I'm going to go looking for a new main board. I've got a brand new one somewhere. I've got 2 or 3 of them. Let's stick one in and make sure the new one connects to the internet straight away. The new one may need some updates. Let's see.